What's up, guys? It's Josh here, back with another Kansas City Chiefs related video, and today I've got some ranting to do. I've got a lot of stuff on my mind, been on social media a lot lately, on Twitter, and since it's the off season and there's not a lot of stuff to talk about, some sites have started making player ranking lists, ranking the tight ends, ranking the wide receivers, ranking the quarterbacks, specifically PFF. I know they've made some lists that have came out lately, and people like to debate about those players after the lists come out in the comments and stuff. And it really amazes me how many casual fans there still are that think Tyreek Hill is good just because he's fast, or George Kittle is better than Travis Kelce. Yeah, there's still people out there that disrespect those players like that. There's even been a slight increase in Mahomes disrespect since the Super Bowl. People are using it to fuel this narrative that he can't win without a super team, which is just stupid. We're going to get into it, though, here. We're going to address these narratives and why they're just incredibly stupid, to be blunt about it, and why the fans that think this way are wrong. So, yeah, we're going to get into that right after this.
Here we go.
So real quick before I get started, I wanted to thank Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report for making that new intro card for me. Looks fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And make sure you go subscribe to Michael Darcy if you haven't over at KC Sports Report. I'll link that in the description. But without further ado, let's get into my rant. So recently there was a list that came out from PFF. I want to say it was PFF, if not my mistake. That ranked the top tight ends in the league, and of course they had George Kittle over Travis Kelce. I don't know why we're still doing this, acting like George Kittle is better than Travis Kelce. There was not any point in time where George Kittle was better than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is the better tight end. George Kittle, really the big reason people say he's better than Kelce is because he's a great receiving tight end, and he's also a great blocking tight end. Travis Kelce is also a great receiving tight end and a great blocking tight end. However, Kelce doesn't get the recognition for his blocking like Kittle does because Kittle has so many more highlight reel level blocks, and it shows up a lot more because the 49ers ask him to do it more. That's really the main reason why casual NFL fans have this perception that Kelce can't block or that he doesn't block. Now look, George Kittle is probably a tad bit of a better blocker than Kelce. But Kelce can lay down the wood whenever he's asked. We've seen it time and time again over the years. I remember in the Broncos games a few years back, back when Alex Smith was still the quarterback, Kelce was laying down blocks for Tyreek Hill on those sweeps his rookie year. Really made him look great. Travis Kelce has always been a really good, he's gotten better as he's gotten in the league. He was never a bad blocker at one point, but it's definitely something that he's had to practice and get better at as his career has went on, and he's become a very good blocker. But the Chiefs just don't use him a ton in that way. The 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, his offense, he asks players to block a lot. They run a lot more in that offense than Andy Reid does with the Chiefs. Therefore, Kittle is asked to block and open up a lot of those holes, and also block for his receivers downfield too. But it's just ridiculous to me that people still act like Kittle is better than Kelce. Kelce has more sustained success than Kittle. I mean, Kelce just had the best season of all time by a tight end. 1,600 yards receiving. What was it? 11 touchdowns. Another 100 catches this past season. The season before that, he had 1,000 yards. 2018, he also had the tight end receiving record that George Kittle broke shortly after. The only reason Kittle broke it, though, was because the Chiefs played their game before the 49ers, which means Kittle knew the number he had to beat after Kelce had broke it. So Kittle had a great season that year too, but like I said, Kelce has more sustained success than George Kittle. But Travis Kelce is also just an elite route runner. George Kittle is not nowhere near the route runner that Kelce is. He's just not. Kelce is such a fluid athlete too. Not that Kittle isn't, but Kelce getting in and out of his breaks and having that route running ability and getting that kind of separation, you just can't find that in any other tight end. Kelce, that's why he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when he retires. And going back to the whole blocking debate, I mean, Travis Kelce had a better blocking efficiency last season than George Kittle. And it's kind of silly to me that people use the blocking argument against Kelce. It's because they don't really watch him block, even though he's a great blocker. But again, the Chiefs don't ask him to block all that much. And they shouldn't. He's not going to be recognized as a great blocker at all by casual NFL fans because he's never going to be asked to block enough to where people notice it. And the reason for that is because Travis Kelce is such a great pass catcher. He's such a great pass catching tight end that it would be stupid to not utilize him like that most of the time. Like, it would be a crime to have Kelce block half the time, more than half the time, when he's such a good pass catcher. That's where the Chiefs, that's his bread and butter, and that's how the Chiefs utilize him, because it would be stupid to utilize him in any other way. Like, Julio Jones is not he's not known as a blocking wide receiver because it would be stupid if the Falcons, I mean, of course he's on the Titans now, but it would be stupid if the Falcons ever used him as a primarily blocking wide receiver. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just dumb to view Kelsey as not a good blocker just because they don't ask him to do it as much, because when they ask him to do it, he is damn good at it. But he's never going to be seen as good of a blocker as Kittle for those reasons. It's really just a shame. And Travis Kelce has him clearly beat in the pass catching department. He's just a better tight end. It's just dumb that we're still doing this. I know Kittle's been hurt, but you know what they say? Availability is the best ability, and Travis Kelce has been very reliable. His only hookup really with injuries in his career has been his rookie year, where he ended up missing that season and having surgeries. But since then, he's been super reliable and super durable. So that is definitely one that frustrates me. I can't believe people still think Kittle is better than Kelsey. Kelsey has consistently shown up in the postseason. He outplayed Kittle in the Super Bowl. He's the better tight end. It shouldn't be a debate. Excuse me. It shouldn't be a debate. It's just dumb. Kelsey's outplayed him for the past few seasons, and I mean, I don't blame people for picking Kittle, really. I mean, he's still a great tight end. They're still both great, but Kelsey's better. He's just that much better. All right, my next point that I want to make, something else that really frustrates me, is the amount of people that are really using this past Super Bowl as fuel to this argument that Patrick Mahomes is only good because of his weapons. It's amazing how many people still say that. Now, I will admit, Mahomes has been put into probably about the best situation a rookie quarterback can be put into. Learning under Andy Reid, not being asked to start right away, having a great set of weapons. Like, yes, the Chiefs do have great weapons around Patrick Mahomes, as they should. You should put good weapons around your quarterback. However, saying Mahomes needs a super team to win, or that he's not great without his weapons, is just stupid. Reason number one being that the Chiefs have always had great weapons even before Patrick Mahomes. Let's go back to Alex Smith. Alex Smith, he had Travis Kelce. He had Tyreek Hill. He didn't have the Tyreek Hill that the Patrick Mahomes has now. Like, he's become a lot better, and we'll get into that a little bit later because I want to hit on Tyreek Hill a little bit later. But he had Tyreek Hill. He had, Kareem Hunt. Like, he had great weapons. Like, let's make no mistake. Now, look what Alex Smith did with those weapons, and look what Patrick Mahomes is doing with those same weapons. Like, as much as I love and appreciate Alex Smith and what he did for Kansas City, the dude never got past the divisional round. He never won a divisional round game. Patrick Mahomes, his first year starting, took this team to an AFC championship game. They hosted the AFC championship game, and they lost Kareem Hunt about halfway through that year. Patrick Mahomes has been doing this since high school. He's been doing it since college. He's been carrying his offense. He's been carrying teams. I know he didn't win a ton at Texas Tech, but that was because Texas Tech had one of the worst defenses historically ever. Like, they were terrible, horrible. Patrick Mahomes threw for 700 yards in a game at Texas Tech, and they lost. That's ridiculous. Patrick Mahomes has been balling since high school. He's always been that type of guy that you can just give him whatever and he makes it work. Even in that Week 17 game that he started his rookie season against the Broncos, the dude was out there making Albert Wilson look like a Pro Bowl wide receiver. And I love Albert Wilson, but he's not that. And he made Albert Wilson a ton of money. I mean, to say that he needs weapons like that, like he needs weapons to be good, is just stupid. And in the Super Bowl, it wasn't a case where Patrick Mahomes lost all of his weapons and he wasn't good anymore. It was that the offensive line lost 4 of its 5 starters. There's not many QBs that can win with that. Do you think if they switch Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes in that game, that Tom Brady still wins with that Chiefs offensive line? No. Of course not. And it's funny because in some of these other debates with players like Travis Kelce, like Tyreek Hill, an argument I hear from casuals trying to justify that their guy is better than Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill is, oh, well, he has great quarterback play. So it can't both be this player is good because Patrick Mahomes, and then Patrick Mahomes is only good because of that player. It can't go both ways, and I catch a lot of people saying that most of the time, and it's really just people that are hating on the Chiefs or trying to prop their guy up, and it's just stupid. Like, they literally make themselves look dumb. Like, it can't go both ways. You can't say Patrick Mahomes is only good because of his weapons and then say that Patrick Mahomes' weapons are only good because they have Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback. It's just dumb. It's been disproven by the entire Alex Smith era. All you have to do is point to the Alex Smith era to disprove how dumb that argument is. Yes, will a quarterback look better if you give them elite weapons? Sure, but they're also going to look worse if you give them worse weapons. It's just nature. It doesn't mean that quarterback is bad. You have to give your quarterback something to work with. But even for a player like Patrick Mahomes, even if you give him subpar weapons, like I mentioned with that Week 17 Broncos game when he was a rookie, he still balled out. Like, he's just that type of dude. He can make it work. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. You can't discredit him. He has extreme upside with his arm talent. He knows the game very well. The way he can contort his arm to make these certain throws, the way he performs when he's being pressured, it's just amazing. You can't discredit him. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of these people don't actually watch the Chiefs. A lot of them will say that they love Mahomes, but then, they'll try to hate on him when, like last year when the MVP race was neck and neck between him and Aaron Rodgers. I noticed a lot of people trying to tear Mahomes down with this stupid little, oh, he had a bunch of dropped interceptions thing, which is a whole nother dumb thing, by the way. I made a video on that a few months back reacting to that. You can't call an interception so someone never had a dropped interception if they never had possession of it. Again, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, though, it seems like these people don't even watch the games because they claim the team would be so great without Mahomes. How many games last year did Mahomes have to pull a rabbit out of a hat for the Chiefs to actually win? They won their last 7 games by a combined 27 points. Do you think if you take Mahomes away from that first Chargers game, the second Broncos game, the second Raiders game, the Buccaneers game, do you think if you take Mahomes out of those games and replace him with a, let's just say Alex Smith, like a mid-tier quarterback, that they win those games still? I'm not so sure. I mean, there's a lot of games that if Mahomes was not on the field, the Chiefs don't win. What do you think their record is without Mahomes? People act like the Chiefs would still go 12-4 without Mahomes. I don't think so. I think they had a tougher time last year than people remember. And Mahomes is just such a great quarterback, and to see people try to say he's only good because of his weapons, it's just stupid. It really is. I mean, he's consistently made it work with what he's got, and I hate it. I mean, the dude made... How many quarterbacks do you think could survive with 4 of their starters on the offensive line going down? And Eric Fisher getting injured seemed to be like the last straw that broke the camel's back. But before that, we don't give Mahomes enough credit for how great he made that offensive line look, even though... Well, I don't want to say great, but how competent he made them look, even though they weren't really all that competent. Austin Ryder, Andrew Wiley, those guys actually held up because of Mahomes' quarterback play. Like, that's ridiculous to think about. So, yeah, I wanted to get that off my chest. All right, so my last spiel I want to go on here, and this is the one that frustrates me the most, is that people are still out there saying that Tyreek Hill is just good because he's fast. And It is the most annoying thing ever. Like, oh, he's only good because he's fast. Take away his speed, and he's not as good. Okay, first of all, can we stop with this logic in an argument where if you take away a player's best trait, they're not as good anymore? Well, yeah, duh. If you take away Julio Jones' route running, do you think he's as good? If you take away Stephon Diggs' route running, do you think he's as good? If you take away... Yeah, I mean, it can be applied to anyone. You can't just take away a player's best trait and be like, oh, well, he wouldn't be as good. Well, yeah, like, of course. But that's stupid. You can't just take away a player's best trait like that for an argument. It's just dumb. But Tyreek Hill saying that he's only good because he's fast still in 2021 just shows that these people don't watch the Chiefs. They don't watch the games. They're casuals. And it's funny because people will try to rank their guy above Tyreek Hill, but the truth is, if you ask all these people if they could have any receiver in the game, if they needed a touchdown with 2 minutes left, all of them are taking Tyreek Hill. If you gave them a secret ballot, they're all taking Tyreek Hill. They're not taking anybody else because Tyreek Hill can change the game that quickly. He's the most dynamic offensive threat in the entire NFL, and quite frankly, I think he's probably top 3, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's just that good, and it's not just because he's fast. Like, it is amazing the people that think Tyreek Hill is still good because he's fast. Tyreek Hill, when he was a rookie, most of his big plays became, because he was fast. But he's gotten a lot more polished since then. In fact, he's finished with the top 5 contested catch rate, I believe, for the past 3 years now. Like, the dude can catch in traffic really well. Like, even though he's not someone that you would expect, to win a lot of those jump balls, those 50-50 balls, he does. He catches the ball like he's 6'4". The dude is 5'9", 5'10", and he's up here catching 50-50 balls like no other. I remember that catch against the Texans in 2019, the Super Bowl year, that catch against the Texans that he had over Justin Reed. Did you see how high he jumped for that? Part of what makes Tyreek great, too, is because of his vertical ability. The dude jumps like 42 inches in the air. It's insane. He's an insane athlete. His change of direction, his ability to get separation because of his change of direction, because of his speed, all of that combined, his route running, he's become a more polished route runner since entering the league. All of that is what makes Tyreek Hill great. Does his speed have a lot to do with it? Is it probably a majority of why he's good? Yeah. But to say he's only good because he's fast is just stupid. And also, yes, Tyreek Hill is the fastest player in the league. There's not many guys that have the same game-changing speed as him. But there's guys like John Ross and Henry Ruggs that come close to him, that run really fast. But those guys aren't great receivers. You know why they aren't great receivers? Because they don't do all those other things I mentioned, like run really good routes, like had that same change of direction and that same athletic ability that he does in knowing the game well enough to get open all the time. They don't do all of that as well as Tyreek Hill. Because if being just fast made you a great receiver, then those guys would be great receivers. But they're not, because they're not Tyreek Hill. And that's what people don't understand. And that's an argument that I always point to that they don't have many answers to. Tyreek Hill is also just so dynamic because you can hand the ball off to him, run him on those sweeps. We saw him be dynamic in the return game. He has, almost 50 touchdowns since entering the league, which is more, if not, I think Devontae Adams was really close, but Tyreek Hill has the most touchdowns out of anyone since he's entered the league. The dude just scores. He just gets touchdowns. He gets open. He's a great player. He's a great wide receiver. He has great technique. He's learned the game very well. He's developed super well. To say that he's only good because he's fast is just dumb. It's stupid because you can't just take away a player's speed like that. You can't just arbitrarily take away a player's skills and use it as an argument as to why they're actually not good. I mean, we can do that with any player in the NFL. It's the same thing with the whole Mahomes quarterback. He needs his weapons to be great point. You can't just take that away from a player. It's dumb. It's just dumb. So, yeah, those are my rants for today. Those are things I really wanted to address because I still see them a lot. And if you ever see anyone on Twitter saying these things, just point them to this video. Just let me talk to them. But all that being said, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can see this video. And let me know in the comments any questions, concerns, your thoughts on what I had to say. You know the drill, though. And make sure you check out my content on kckingdom.com and showmefootball.com. Peace.